लकी स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? Okay, let's start our intelligent idea. Okay, guys, are you ready? Okay. अच्छा, everything is ready. Sorry, everyone is ready. Guys, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Open this and hibernate. Okay, this window. Hmm. Okay, guys. Uh, so actually, last time we have created an object. Okay, no problem. We have created it, but after after this scan will be completed, you will get an error. Okay, red, which is very terrible in the context of programming. Okay, let's it load. I hope it will not take lot of time. Okay, so yesterday we have seen, okay, so we have created an object, we have set the roll number, name, and branch. But after that, we have written save as well. But where this save is coming from, right? Lucky, है ना? We cannot
Mm.
we cannot go and write, okay, Hibernate, save this. But where, from where you will get the save? Okay, guys. So we have to go on the search where we will get the save. Okay. So if I wanted to get a save, actually, we need a session. Okay. Uh, let's go. So first, if I wanted to get the save, I want save, right? To get the save, we want session. Okay. From the session, you will get the save. Okay. So if I want to save, to get the save, we need a session. Okay, so if I want to get a save, which is save will be provided by the session. Okay, let's go. I will write session. Can you see this session I have written here? Yes, guys, can you see this session? Okay, but can you see this session is coming from Hibernate, right? Yes, can you see this org.hibernate, Lena?
Yes.
Okay, so session will provides us the save. Okay, now that making sense. Okay, let's try session and just semicolon. Okay, session and session. But okay, that is fine. So we need a session, but we have created a reference of this, right? Session. But if you will go into the session and just control and hover over this, if you will click it, you will get, you will see session is an interface, right? Lucky, Lina, समझ में आ रहा है? The session is an interface. So we want session, but interface cannot be initialized, right? बताओ, लीना, लकी, समझ आया मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
Yes.
We want session, but session is an interface. So session, we cannot initialize session here, right? We cannot go and we cannot write new. Can we write guys like this new session? No, of course you will get an error after writing this. You will get an error which you can see, right? So if I wanted to get a session, uh, I need a transaction. I need a session factory. Let's say now I don't know the session, right? Means session is an interface. तो हम उसको initialize नहीं कर सकते. But we have, we will get session dot save. समझ आ रहा है? तो save will be provided by the session. But now let's remove this save from here. Okay. So we have created a session. Now अभी एक और क्वेश्चन आ गया हमारे माइंड में कि कहाँ से मुझे सेशन मिलेगा? वे फ्रॉम वेयर यू विल गेट द सेशन, बिकॉज सेशन इज एन इंटरफेस. वी कैनॉट इनिशियलाइज सेशन, राइट? So there must be someone who will provide us the session. Okay. So when we say who will gives us the session, we wanted session. So session factory comes in the picture. Okay. So session factory gives us the session. Okay, guys. यहाँ तक समझ आया? We have created a session here, but just a reference of it. But this session cannot be initialized because it is an interface. We wanted session. So who will provide us this session? Session will be provided by the session factory. Okay, then we will go up here because for getting session we need a session factory. Okay, maybe we can say it is a factory from where the session comes. Okay, then here we will write uh, session factory. Can you see session factory? लीना देखिए दिख रहा है.
Yes.
Okay, so session factory will gives us the session. ओके लकी. सो इज इट गेटिंग क्लियर? देखो, हमें सेशन चाहिए. अब सेशन को इनिशियलाइज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि इंटरफेस है. तो सेशन हमें कौन प्रोवाइड करेगा? सेशन फैक्ट्री प्रोवाइड करेगा. समझ में आ रहा है? ओके, लेट्स राइट सेशन फैक्ट्री एस एफ. समझ आया इतना? हम्म लकी, लीना.
Yes.
चलो इतना करो. लकी समझ आ रहा है? लकी, हेलो.
Yes.
ओके, so till you write the code I will tell you. We want session. So as session is an interface, we cannot get session from there. So we will create a session factory first. To get a session, we need a session factory. Okay, लीना लकी समझ आया? सो दैट्स वाई सेशन के ऊपर मैंने सेशन फैक्ट्री बनाया, बिकॉज सेशन क्रिएट करने से पहले मुझे सेशन फैक्ट्री चाहिए होगा. समझ आ रहा है? ओके, दिस मच इज आर डन विथ. लेट मी नो गाइस. ओके, व्हाट्स यू डन?
Yes. Done, sir.
ओके, 1 minute. Okay, now uh, from session factory we will get a session, right Lucky? Is that till now what we have understood?
Yes.
But if you will go and see the session factory, just go into the session factory. Okay, just click and sorry, control plus click, you will go inside it. Now there is another nightmare. Session factory is also an interface, right? Lina, Lucky, समझ आया?
Yes.
So session factory is also an interface. Okay, so a lot of terrible things is happening. We are getting confused, right? For getting session, because session is an interface. Says to get a session, we need a session factory. Okay, so we have created session factory. But session factory is also an interface. So to get a session, we want something else. Okay, oh my god, that is very difficult. To get a session, you need something else. And what you need to get a session factory, you need a configuration. Yeah, so we need a configuration. I will write configuration. Okay, configuration. And make sure you click configuration from Hibernate. So when I have written configuration, you will get lot of options. So make sure you select the configuration coming from the Hibernate. So here you can see org.hibernate.cfg. So this configuration is coming from the Hibernate, right? Making sense, Lina? The key? Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, so we need configuration. Okay, we got it. So we have selected, we will select this one. Okay, let's say configuration, config, config is equal to, okay, now let's see this configuration. Okay, I hope this time it should work. We should get have we should get the configuration, guys, otherwise it is very struggle for us. Let's see. If I will just go inside a configuration, you will see it is a class, right Lucky? Okay, very good. Thank, thanks a lot. It is a class. So as it is a class, can I get a configuration? Can I create an object of a configuration?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Configuration config is equal to new configuration. Okay. हम्म. लीना, लकी समझ आया इतना?
yes,
Okay, that's okay. So what is the use of this configuration? Okay, guys, we have to do a configuration. Listen, we have to do a configuration. To do a configuration, here the configuration comes in picture. But okay, don't go. We will discuss that. What is configuration? Now from configuration, I will get a session factory. So I will write session sf is equal to session factory sf is equal to config configuration जो कि हमने बनाया अभी configuration dot build session factory. Can you see this? Build session factory which we needed, right? The key Lina दिख रहा है? Configuration dot build session factory. Can you see this? Build session factory.
yes,
And this methods return what? It return the session factory which we needed, right? Can you see? This is the method session factory, and it return the session factory. This is the method build session factory, and this method returns what? Session factory object. समझ में आया? देखो दिख रहा है साइड में सेशन फैक्ट्री रिटर्न कर रहा है ये. हम्म. लेना लकी. Yes.
yes,
Okay. So this method will gives us the session factory, and of course we need a fact session factory, right? Lucky Lina. So we have stored that in the session factory. समझ आया? बोलो.
yes,
Okay. So I will just go back, and if you will see, I will just click on this method, control and click on this method. After clicking on this method, you will get this method, and this method, this is the public. This is the method name session factory, and it return the session factory. Can you see? Public session factory, and there is a function जैसे हम लिखते हैं ना इंटीजर, है ना, जैसे लिखते हैं ना इंटीजर सम ए प्लस बी ऐसा कुछ रिटर्न. तो ये टाइप है, इट रिटर्न द सेशन फैक्ट्री ऑब्जेक्ट दैट वी नीडेड, राइट? सो वी हैव स्टोर्ड इट इन द सेशन फैक्ट्री. समझ आया? हम्म. बोलो बोलो.
yes,
लकी समझ आ रहा है ना? यस. Okay. Now to get a session. Okay, so now we have a session factory. Can we get a session, guys? Let's say I will write session is equal to session factory dot dot open session. Can you see this open session? This open session is written a session, right? That's what we needed now. The key.
yes,
Okay, just click on this open session. Now we have got a session. Now can we say session session dot save? Okay, can we say, because इतना struggle करने के बाद can we write session dot save, and session is equal to, okay, so session dot save, or we have persist, right? Okay, yeah. So guys, before the older versions we have a save, so we can use a save. Okay, we have a save. But in newer version, if we wanted to save, we cannot write save now. In the newer version we have to use persist. So persist is the same as the save. और एक कुछ save में कुछ issues है, so they have launched the persist. So the objective of persist is the same, to save, right? To save. और persist का मतलब ही save है, ठीक है? Just persist. And what I wanted to persist? Object. Let's write s1 here. Okay, Lina, Lucky, समझ आया? Till now, have you understood? बोलो. Lucky, समझ आया? Okay, are you done with this?
yes,
Okay, shall we run now, Lucky?
yes, sir.
Okay, so after running this, we should able to store our S1 inside our database, right? Let's run this. If we will run this now, after running this code, what you will get? This is surprise, right? So surprise will be in front of us soon. After running this program, you will get a lot of errors, right? That is very difficult. Oh my god, this is a lot of errors having we have got, right? Guys, you have got the errors. Lucky, दिख रहा है? लकी, लीना. Can you see the errors?
Yes.
Okay. So now why we are getting error? Okay, let's try to understand. We are getting error. It's saying, hey, JDBC connection. What it's saying? It's saying no appropriate connection provided for JDBC. Can you see this? No JDBC connection. It's saying, hey, you have not provided any JDBC connection. We have not did anywhere JDBC connection, right, Lina? It is saying JDBC org.hibernate.engine JDBC connection, internal connection provided. You have not provided. It's saying you have not provided the JDBC connection, and of course we have not anywhere said what is my username, where is my password. We have not specified anything, right? Hmm. Lina, we have Lina Lucky. We have not did any JDBC connection. We have not specified our username, password, uh, and driver. We have not specified our database name. We have not specified anywhere in this project that configuration, right? है ना? बोलो बोलो. Lina, Lucky. Hmm? Is it making sense to you? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Nowhere in this project we have defined that our configuration. Making sense? Means we have not defined our configuration. Okay, so we have to do a configuration. That makes sense now? What we have to do? We have to do a configuration. And what actually configuration means? Uh, Configuration means we have to specify our database URL, okay, driver name, uh, then our database password, username, driver local org.postgresql localhost 543. We have not defined the port number, so we know where in the project we have did that, right? Hmm? समझ आ रहा है लकी? Yes guys, are you getting this? बोलो.
Yes.
Okay. So for that, what we are going to do, आपको यहाँ पे can you see this resources folder here? Uh, can you see this resources folder here? Resources. Uh,
Yes.
Okay, so we want suppose whenever we wanted to do a configuration, we have a two ways. One of the way is defining the XML file. So we create XML file and do lot of configuration there, and it's done. Other way we have is using annotations. First, let's go with the XML based configuration. So inside this resource file, we will have all our XML files. Okay, so we have to create XML file. Just right click on this resources, new, and file. Okay, इतना इतना कर लिया. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, now we have to give the name. So I will write okay, I have right click here, new, and file, not a Kotlin file. Okay, okay, file. Okay, now I will write hibernate hibernate dot cfg cfg का मतलब configuration. Hibernate dot cfg.xml. Okay, so hibernate.cfg.xml. So we wanted XML file, that's why written .xml. Just enter here and you will get our XML file. Can you see we have got our XML? Hibernate.configure hibernate.cfg.xml. We have got this file, right? Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, now to do a configuration, to do a Hibernate configuration, we will define all the configuration in the file, because we have to specify port number, we have to specify username, password, all those things. Okay, so for configuration, for building configuration, we have to use the tags. So first I will go here and just write Hibernate configuration. Can you see this Hibernate configuration tag?
Yes.
Okay, Lucky, can you see this? Hibernate configuration tag.
Yes.
Okay, just enter. Okay, now you will get two things. You will get Hibernate configuration and you will get a session factory. Okay, session factory tag. Just Make it something like this. Okay, समझ आया? हम्म. ओके, shall I repeat once again? लकी, लीना, देखो.
No, sir.
देखो ऐसा आएगा, आपको ऐसा आया ना, कैन यू सी? इस तरह से बाय डिफॉल्ट आएगा, ठीक है? अब आपको एंटर करना है. ओके, पहले ऐसे आएगा. ये जो दिख रहा है ना आपको, ये जो बीच में ये जो दिख रहा है, इनके बीच में लाना है कर्सर. देखो, आया कर्सर. स्पेस करना है और एंटर एंटर करके नीचे लेके आना है, आगे नीचे लेके, तो खुल जाएगा ये. है क्या? खुल गया? लकी.
Yes.
Okay, now in this configuration file we will do all our configurations. Okay, so now first go and set our username, password, port number, and everything. Okay, for defining the properties. Okay, for setting our port number, username, password, we have to use the property tag. So just use the property. Can you see this property tag? Hmm? So inside the properties, we will set our uh, all the things which we needed. Can you see this property tag, Lina?
Yes.
Okay, so just click on property. Now we have to give the property name. So first we are going to use the we are going to provide the driver. So I will write hibernate hibernate dot connection dot driver. Okay, so it is the driver. Okay, now यहाँ तक आ गया. This much is done. Property name is equal to hibernate dot connections dot driver. इतना आया. Okay,
Yes.
driver. Okay, hibernate dot connection dot driver driver underscore class. Okay, so if you will see how it look like hibernate dot hibernate dot connection dot driver underscore class. It's look like this. Okay, Lina, Lucky, यहाँ तक आ गया हो?
Yes.
Now after that, inside can you see this thing? यहाँ पे property के अंदर ये दिखा. यहाँ पे आपको driver mention करना है. So where is our PostgreSQL driver? So it is inside org. So it is a package name, org dot PostgreSQL dot drive, right? This is what we needed, right, Lucky? है ना? Okay, so we have set our first property, which is this. Now this one is giving us error. Remove this, and we have set name hibernate dot connection dot driver underscore class, and it is this is our driver, right? We have added library for this to org dot postgresql dot driver. Okay, Lucky, समझ आया? Okay, now we have to set our URL. So for URL again we will use the property tag. Okay, and we will write hibernate dot connection dot url. Okay, so we have to provide the url because we have, uh, like we do like jdbc. Let's go here. Here we'll provide the connection. Okay, connection url. Okay, so how it will look like? So we know first it will be jdbc, then jdbc colon postgresql, है ना? PostgreSQL colon JDBC PostgreSQL colon slash 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 इस तरह से slash slash uh, local host colon local host colon a port number which is 5432 and our database name, which database name we want to connect. I will write mydb. I hope I am having a mydb. Okay, so jdbc colon postgresql uh, colon double slash localhost colon 5432, which is port number, and this mydb. Okay, I will check my pg admin to see if I have the same db of having name mydb. I have mydb actually, but I will just need recheck. Okay, we'll recheck it. Okay, so let's wait for a while. Okay, I just wanted to confirm whether I have MyDB as a database. Okay, so just you two guys just confirm whatever the name you are providing after a port number, it should be present. Okay, otherwise we will get an error. for sure. Okay, now let's open our server, and inside the server, let's password, and let's see. Okay, so I have a MyDB. Okay, so I have two, which is MyDB and MyDB. Okay, I have MyDB, which you can see here. Okay, so it is correct. I have not made any mistakes, so it is correct. So I will just close, minimize my uh, PGN. Okay, fine. Now what we need to do? Connection URL is ready. Now we will provide the username and password, right? Okay. Then again we will write name is equal to hibernate dot connection dot username, right? And we will provide the username. So what is our username, right? Lucky, the username will be Postgres. Okay, so it is our username, Postgres. So Postgres is our username. By default, it is Postgres. Okay. Now again, we'll go here, and okay, let's go here, and now we have uh, given our like username. Another thing which we wanted to provide, which is a password, of course, right? So username and password we wanted. Now let's add the name, which is uh, hibernate dot connection dot password, and here we'll provide the password, which is, let's say, 1551. Okay, Lucky, Lina, यहाँ तक समझ आया? Okay, this much is clear. How we do this thing? So we have added a configuration. Hmm. लीना, लकी, समझ आया? बोलो.
Yes.
लीना एंड लकी, धीरे धीरे समझ के करना है, ठीक है? अगर कुछ भी समझ नहीं कभी बीच में कभी भी कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया, या फिर अभी अभी भी तक कुछ चीजें आपके माइंड में है, विच यू वांटेड टू आस्क, प्लीज पूछो. एनीथिंग, लकी? Okay, done with the configuration, girls? Are you done with this?
Yes.
Okay, now we wanted to go with the main. Let's go back into the main. Now we have written the configuration file, but we have to load that configuration file as well, right? Lucky, Lina, we wanted to load that configuration file as well, right? Mm-hmm. समझ आ रहा है?
Yes.
So how you will load? So after writing configuration, after creating configuration, you will just write configuration dot config. Can you see? Configuration dot configure. So this configure will load that configuration file. Okay, समझ में आया यहाँ तक कि नीना? हम्म.
Yes.
Okay, now let's run now. Now it should able to store. Okay, we have provided a connection. That's fine. Now let's run it. Okay, so after running it, hope so it will gives us, it will gives us okay. Again, guys, we are getting a red line, and here we are getting exit code 1, means we have a issue. We have, if we are getting 0 exit code 0, means if we don't have an issue, but we have a issue, which it's saying now. Now what it's saying? It's saying unknown entity org.example.student info. Are you getting this? So now what it's saying, just relax, guys, I will tell you everything. Okay, see, it's saying, hey, where is the class which you wanted to store in the database, right? It's saying which class you wanted to store in the database. Of course, we have a lot of classes. Suppose in my project I have 100 classes. Do I wanted to store all 100 classes in the database? Lucky. हम्म. लकी, लीना,
Yes, sir.
समझ, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
ओके, बताइए मैंने क्या बोला अभी? Lina, bolo, what I have said just now. Hmm, बोलो बोलो, साउंड आ रहा है ना मेरा? Hmm.
Do we have a class here?
Now see what it's saying. Okay, so of course we wanted to store this student info class in our database, right? This is what we wanted. This to be stored in the database, right? Lucky, Lina. Hmm. This class we wanted to be stored in a database, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So this class, and suppose uh, now it's saying which class you wanted to store, and of course you wanted to store this class, the data which is there inside this class. You wanted to store that in a database. Okay, fine. But it is suppose I have 100 classes in my project. So do we need to store all those 100 classes? No, right? Maybe we wanted to store few classes, but not all. Maybe we wanted to store all the maybe we wanted to have 100 classes and we only need to store 5 or 10 into the database. That makes sense. So we don't want all the classes to be stored. Okay, so now we have to tell, hey, add this class into the database. Okay, add this class. Okay, use this class. You have to store this class into the database. Okay, so for that, before configuration, we will gives us that class to the configuration. Means just write configuration dot, you will say, you will get add annotated class. Can you see this? Add annotated class. Hmm? Can you see this? Add
Yes.
annotated class. So see what we are doing here. We are telling, hey, Hibernate, I wanted to add this class. Okay, so we have to provide the path for that class, where that class is. So can you see my student info class is provided in this package, right? Org.example. Can you see this? My student info.
Yes.
It is present in org.example. And if it will not work, if you will directly write student info, it will not work. It will give us an error. So we have to give the whole path where it located. So if you will see here, it is present in org.example. So you have to define the package name as well. So what I will do, I will write org.example.studentinfo.class. Can you see? So we have defined the class. We have defined it. Okay, just save this class. org.example.studentinfo.class. लकी लीना पक्का समझ आ रहा है?
Yes.
पक्का ना? 100%?
Yes.
What about you, लकी?
समझ रहा है.
अच्छे से सीख के जाओ गाइज, प्लीज सीख के जाओ, आपको आगे ये काम पड़ेगा, ठीक है?
तो पर हम ये सब यूज कहाँ पे करेंगे?
हाँ, ये यूज कहाँ पे करेंगे? अगर आप वेबसाइट बनाते हो, सपोज यू क्रिएट अ वेबसाइट, ओके, and of course in website you wanted to store a data into the database, right? So you will use a Hibernate to store your data. Hmm? You have a data, right? Suppose you have uh, login form, registration form, you have products, okay, you have user info, like whenever anyone log in into the your website, it has a user page, right? Profile page we have. So inside that it has email, address, password, not password, email address, gender, male, female, phone number it has, right? So all those things you can store inside an object, right? And
And
then you
then how will we remember ये सारे steps?
mm-hmm. Yes, Lina, sorry, Lucky.
Then how will we remember this much steps?
How we remember, actually when you do practice, it will get even easier. So at first time, when we do anything at first time, it is difficult, but if you do this thing maybe 10 times, it will be even easier than this one, right? So at first time it is difficult. When you do this on the second time, it is less difficult. Third time, less difficult. So repetition is the key. So when you repeat same thing again and again, you will get better in it. It will get easier. At first time it is very difficult to understand, but when you practice, You will just create a 2 3 projects. You will get an idea. Okay, this is what I wanted to do, because in every project you wanted to do the same thing, same steps you have to follow, and you will get better. You will understand, okay, now I have to create a session factory. Then for session factory I need annotator. So first thing is repetition. Second, just understand, we have not directly adding everything. We are coding it, then we are running it, we are getting, okay, this is the problem we are facing now. Now for this problem, now for this error, what we have messed up, देन वी आर एडिंग दैट. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? तो मैंने सबसे पहले बोला कि आपको, हमने पहले कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नहीं किया, तो मैंने वो आपको बोला कि लेट्स क्रिएट अ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन क्लास. देन वी हैव डिड कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. देन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन डॉट कॉन्फ़िगर क्लिक करने के बाद में फिर भी एरर आया. क्या एरर आया? कि हमने तो क्लास ही नहीं बताया कि जो क्लास हमें स्टोर करना है. तो फिर हमने यहाँ पे ऐड एनोटेटेड क्लास किया. तो एक एक चीज़ दूसरी चीज़ से लिंक करके भी हमें याद रखना है, ठीक है, कि पहले ये होगा, फिर ये नहीं किया तो वो होता है. तो इसके लिए एरर भी समझना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. समझ आ रहा है लकी? तो एक दूसरे को लिंक करके पढ़ो, रिपीटेशन करो, और एरर को समझो. जो एरर आ रहे हैं उसको समझोगे तो ही चीज़ समझ आएगा. जैसे यहाँ पे जो एरर है, नाउ आई हैव डिड दिस मल्टीपल टाइम्स, दैट्स व्हाई. ये क्या बोल रहा है देखो, अननोन एंटिटी टाइप एक्सेप्शन, यानी एंटिटी टाइप org.example.student, it is not, we have not provided anywhere this thing, right? That's why we are getting an error here. बोलो. तो एरर्स को समझो, रिपीटेशन में रिपीटेड करो, प्रैक्टिस करोगे, एक चीज बार 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 प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो इजियर बनेगा. तीसरी चीज, एरर्स को समझो. ठीक है? ओके गाइस, समझ आया? तो ये 3 स्टेप अगर आप फॉलो करोगे तो आई होप कि ये आपको अच्छी तरीके से हेल्प करेगा इन योर लर्निंग प्रोसेस एंड योर फर्दर डेवलपमेंट एंड फर्दर जर्नी इन द प्रोग्रामिंग वर्ल्ड. ठीक है लकी? हैव आई जस्टिफाई योर आंसर?
Yes.
ओके, दिस मच इज डन.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now finally it should be executed. Otherwise, Lucky will shout at me. Okay, no, she will not. But if at least now it should work. Okay, we have given the class. Okay, use this class. Okay, object is already there. We have provided configuration. We have provided the class as well. Okay, at now, finger cross, girls, it should work now. Let's click here and just click here. And if can we get our object saved? Let's wait. And again, we got another error. So errors are good, okay, but it should not be the same error. It should be a different. Okay. Now this time it's saying unknown entity type. It's saying unknown entity. It's saying student info is not annotated. See guys, so when we read errors, we need to understand the meaning of it, because अगर error का meaning नहीं समझ में आया तो चीजें समझ नहीं आएगा. So it is saying, say, student info is not annotated. Is not annotated, and you can see an entity here, at the rate entity. So see, what I wanted to store this class into my database, and we have defined it. Okay, just store this class. You have said, okay, org.example.student, this class I wanted to store in database. But if you want, apart from only mentioning that this class I wanted to store, that will not work. You have to tell, okay, this class, you have to tell this class I wanted to annotate it, means this class I wanted to store in a database. So first you have, what you have did, you have just given the path, okay, this is the class I wanted to store. But Hibernate say, hey, if you wanted me to save this class, apart from just mentioning this path, you have to do one thing. You have to provide an annotation. Means if you want this student info to be stored in a database, apart from providing a part, you have to just go into this class and just add an annotation. Just add an annotation. Okay, means just go here and just write at the rate entity. Can you see this entity? You have to you have to uh, you have to provide an entity, means you have to define this class as an entity. Okay, so whenever we wanted any data to be stored into the database, we want it to be an entity. If it is not an entity, it will not work. So we have to go here, just write entity at the rate entity, and it should work now. ओके समझ आया? सो आई हैव जस्ट गिवन एट द रेट एंटिटी. तो जब भी हम किसी भी चीज को चाहते हैं कि वो डेटाबेस के अंदर स्टोर हो, इट इज द फंडामेंटल ऑफ डेटाबेस. Okay, so when we try to store, so we whatever we wanted to store inside a database, so we have did see, we have defined the path here. हमने बता दिया कि ये क्लास स्टोर करना है, बट वो उसे तब तक स्टोर नहीं करेगा जब तक वो एक एंटिटी नहीं है. So if I wanted this student for to be getting stored inside a database, it should be an entity. Otherwise, it will not store. It is against the rule of the database. Okay, it should be entity. Whatever you store inside database, it should be an entity. Otherwise, it will not work. So we have created, we have written at the rate entity. So it is some type of a tag we are writing. ओके, हम किसी के ऊपर टैग लगा देते हैं कि अच्छा ये ऑयल फ्री है, तो ऑयल फ्री से पता चलता है कि मुझे क्या पिक करना है. समझ में आ रहा है? सो हमने इसके ऊपर एक टैग लगा दिया है, ताकि हाइबरनेट इसको पहचान पाएगा कि अच्छा अब ये एंटिटी है, हम इसको स्टोर कर सकते हैं. अगर मैं एंटिटी नहीं लगाऊंगा, वो बोलेगा इसके ऊपर मुझे एंटिटी दिख ही नहीं रहा, तो मैं इसको स्टोर ही नहीं करूंगा. तो हमें इसको एंटिटी बनाना है, तो जस्ट राइट एंटिटी. हैव यू रिटन एंटिटी, गर्ल्स?
Okay.
Okay, now, whew, guys, now it should work. I promise you, it should work now. Now let's run. And after running this, I hope, guys, we should not get an error this time. But after running this, again we have got another error. And this error is saying, so whenever we wanted to store data into the table, we have a primary key, right? Our table have a primary key. So now it's saying class must declare or inherit at least one primary key. It should have one id. id का मतलब होता है प्राइमरी की. सो वो बोल रहा है कि आप जो भी क्लास को डेटाबेस में स्टोर करना चाह रहे हो, एटलीस्ट उसमें से एक कॉलम, एटलीस्ट वन प्रॉपर्टी शुड बी अ प्राइमरी की. ओके, वी हैव डिफाइंड इट द टेबल, वी कैन हैव अ प्राइमरी की इनसाइड द टेबल. बट वो बोल रहा है कि आपको अगर डेटा स्टोर करना है तो एटलीस्ट आपके टेबल में एक प्राइमरी की होना चाहिए. सो नाउ inside this student, for I want, of course, I want this student, this roll number to be a primary key. So I want, if I wanted to tell Hibernate, hey, I wanted to say, hey, the Hibernate, this roll number is a primary key. So how to tell Hibernate this roll number is a primary key? Just use at the rate id. Okay, so when you write id, this roll number will become a primary key. This roll number column will become a primary key. समझ आ रहा है? At least one you should have. At least one ID you should have. So of course we will give no roll number ID. So when we have given ID to the roll number, it will be, this roll number column will be a primary key. समझ में आ रहा है? लीना, लकी. बोलो, समझ आ रहा है? हाइब्रिड बोल रहा है कि आप जो क्लास स्टोर करने चाह रहा हूँ, तो ऑफकोर्स वो क्लास किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा? टेबल में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. हमें टेबल की क्वेरी नहीं लिखनी है. This class will automatically being converted, not automatically, but okay, this class will be converted into a table. Okay, class name will be the table name, roll number will be a column name, name is equal to column name, या तीन कॉलम बनेंगे, रोल नंबर, नेम एंड ब्रांच. रोल नंबर का टाइप होगा इंटीजर्स, नेम का ब्रांच, नेम का टाइप होगा स्ट्रिंग, एंड ब्रांच का टाइप होगा स्ट्रिंग. सो ये मैप हो जाएगा इनटू द टेबल. तो इसलिए हमें बताना पड़ेगा कि हाइबरनेट बोलता है कि आपको एटलीस्ट वन प्राइमरी की आपके इसमें होना चाहिए, नहीं होगा तो फिर we will not store it. Hibernate के खुद की rule है, because he is providing us to not write any SQL query, so we have to follow that. So at least one ID should be there, at least. So we have given an ID, right? समझ आया? Lucky, Lena.
Yes.
Okay, just give ID. So we have two things always remember in the class. Use, make it okay. Add an entity and add ID. In ID means with the help of ID it will be a primary key. समझ आ रहा है? Hmm? Okay. लीना, लकी, समझ आया? प्लीज बताओ.
Yes.
At first, it is, I know, guys, it is overwhelmed. It is definitely overwhelmed, but we have to go with this. Uh, just try to repeat it once again, one, two, or three times. You will get it, of course. Maybe we will conduct the uh, revision session on this, and you will get it. Don't worry, you will get it, guys. It is more easier than JDBC connection. Okay. Now, now we have done with the ID as well. Okay, so it was saying before, hey, you should have at least one primary key. We have added a primary key. Now let's run. And if we will run this, it will say something else, which we are going to see. Now it's saying what it's saying now. Okay. Now it's saying, now it's not giving any kind of error, right? Can you see? We have not got any error, right? दिख रहा है कोई भी error नहीं आया. You will, क्या आपको zero दिख रहा है नीचे? Can you see the zero here? Can you see zero? दिख रहा है? Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's go into the database. Okay. So now we are in the database. So I will,
So
हाँ हाँ, हम्म,
I'm not getting any run करने का बटन.
ओके. तो आपको यहाँ पे मेन दिखता है, मेन मेथड, मेन दिखता है, पब्लिक स्टैटिक वॉइड मेन.
वो नहीं रन कर.
इसके सामने ये रन वाला बटन दिखता है, लकी, लकी. आपको एक पब्लिक स्टैटिक वॉइड मेन के सामने ग्रीन वाला बटन दिखता है.
हाँ मिल गया मिल गया.
हाँ, उस पर क्लिक करना है तो रन हो जाएगा. ओके. नाउ यू शुड गेट अ जीरो. हाँ, if you are getting it zero, means it's working. If not, there is some problem. Okay. Now let's go into the database. Okay. Now I have a MyDB. So मुझे इसको एक बार refresh करना पड़ेगा. Okay. So just go on the DB you have mentioned. Just right click on DB and you will get an option of refresh. You can press F5 as well to refresh it. Okay. So just click on refresh. If you just click on refresh and just go into this, okay, and into the tables, can you see we have got student info? Yes, guys. Mm-hmm.
सर स्टार्टिंग से बताइए ये मिस हो गया था.
Okay. जो भी डेटाबेस आपने जो भी डेटाबेस आपने वहां पे नाम दिया होगा, उसके यहाँ पे आना है. सो आई हैव गिवन अ माई डीबी. माई डी, अब हमें डेटाबेस को एक बार रिफ्रेश करना पड़ता है. ओके. जब भी हम चेंजेस देखना है तो हम इसको एक बार रिफ्रेश करना पड़ता है. हमने भेजा है तो लेट्स सी इट इज वर्किंग. रिफ्रेश करना है. रिफ्रेश करने के लिए आपको उस डेटाबेस पे आना है, राइट क्लिक करना है और रिफ्रेश वाला दिखेगा आपको ऑप्शन. कैन यू सी दिस रिफ्रेश लीना? ओके. दिख रहा है? बोलिए. कैन यू सी दिस रिफ्रेश? क्लिक ऑन रिफ्रेश. After clicking on refresh, just go down and go down into the tables. Okay. Now we already have a student info table here. And if you go inside the student info and view all rows, let's see what we are getting. Okay. Now actually this was the table which we have created before, right? Already, है ना? ये टेबल हमने पहले क्रिएट किया था ना? बताओ, लीना, लकी, है कि नहीं? यही टेबल हमने क्रिएट किया था. अब एक्चुअली वी वांट, अभी हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जो डेटा है वो इसके अंदर स्टोर हो, बट अभी स्टोर हुआ नहीं है. इट इज नॉट बीइंग स्टोर्ड. Now I will just tell you one more thing. Okay. Now do we have to create a table या नहीं? अगर मुझे Hibernate से डेटा स्टोर करना है मेरे डीबी के अंदर, तो क्या मुझे ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे टेबल बना के रखना पड़ेगा? It is not necessary. You can also, you don't need to provide any table. Means यहाँ पे आपको स्टूडेंट इन्फो दिख रहा है. कैन यू सी दिस स्टूडेंट इन्फो टेबल? गर्ल्स, कैन यू सी दिस स्टूडेंट इन्फो टेबल दिख रहा है? हम्म. इसको हमें डिलीट करना है क्योंकि I wanted to show you something. Just delete this table. So just click over here, click here, and you will get a drop. You will get option of drop. Just drop this table. Click on this table and click on drop. Just drop पे click करोगे and drop पे click करना है, table चला जाएगा. Now in our machine we don't have any table. हो गया, डिलीट कर दिया टेबल। हम्म। हैव यू डिलीटेड अ टेबल? लीना, लकी, डिलीट कर दिया टेबल?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in in our database, we have
The
not.
tables.
हम्म, टेबल को ड्रॉप, टेबल पे क्लिक करना है, टेबल, और उसको ड्रॉप वाला ऑप्शन आएगा और एस कर देना तो ड्रॉप हो जाएगा, ठीक है लकी? हम्म।
हो गया।
हो गया। नाउ सी, इन अवर डेटाबेस वी डोंट हैव एनी टेबल नेम स्टूडेंट फॉर, वी डोंट हैव एनी टेबल। सो लॉजिकली हमें सबसे पहले टेबल क्रिएट करना होगा मैनुअली यहाँ पे जाके, फिर वो, फिर जो डेटा हम अपने जावा से यानी जो हाइबरनेट से यूज करेंगे वो डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे स्टोर होना चाहिए। लॉजिकली इट शुड लुक लाइक दिस, बट नो, we also don't need to create a table, we don't need to write any SQL query manually, guys. We don't need to create, sorry, we don't need to write any SQL query manually. You don't need to do anything in the database, you just have to provide the configuration. Okay, so now if I will just go here into my machine, into my Java. Okay, so now I wanted Hibernate to create a table for me. If I wanted everything to be managed by the Hibernate. Okay, I wanted, hey Hibernate, create a table and insert a data into that. Now we don't have any table inside our database. So we will say, hey Hibernate, create a table. So for telling Hibernate create a table, we will go inside the hibernate.cfg.xml file. Okay, so inside this XML file, we will tell, hey Hibernate, you have to create a table. So for that, we are going to set the property, and inside the property, we will write Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate dot h Hibernate dot hb uh, HBM, okay, sorry, HBM to DDL, which is Hibernate mapping to database. Okay, so Hibernate mapping to database, and it is by default auto, guys. Hibernate, so HBM to DDL, and here it is by default auto. So Hibernate dot HBM to DDL dot auto. Okay, so here we have to tell, hey Hibernate, create a table for me. So we will write here uh, create. Okay, this is the how we can tell Hibernate to create a table. We just need to define the property. Okay, and all the configuration which you can see here is we have to do it only one time, not again. Okay, so at one time it is difficult, but you can use it again. So Hibernate dot HBM to DDL, and by default it is auto, and we can pass the create. Okay, so first option we have, which is a create. So what will happen, guys, if we will say create, hey Hibernate, create a table, so every time we will run the program, it will create a new table. Lucky, Lina, just listen. Okay, now we have said, okay Hibernate, create a table, but every time we will run, it will create a new table. And of course, if table is already exists, it will say, hey, table is already there, so I cannot create a new table. So first, one of the first is we have a create. We can use a create. So what create will do? It will create table every time you run, and we don't want it to create a table every time it run. Apart, instead of create, we can use update. So now what update will do? Update will search for, if update will search whether table exists, it will search for it. If the table does not exist, then it will create, and if it exists, it will not create. समझ आ रहा है लकी, दीना? So with the help of update, what happened? Hibernate will look, okay, in database MyDB, do we have a table student info? If Hibernate will not find any table, it will create a new table for the student info. And if Hibernate see, okay, the table is already there, it will not create. समझ आ रहा है? बोलो लकी, लेना। लिखा है? Add
three.
add here. Okay, so okay,
की
we
जगह
have
पे update लिखना है क्या?
क्या करना है?
क्रिएट की जगह पे अपडेट लिखना है क्या?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, अपडेट लिखना है। क्यों? क्योंकि अगर मैं क्रिएट लिखता हूँ तो हर बार जितनी बार हम प्रोग्राम को रन करेंगे उतनी बार वो क्रिएट करेगा बार बार। अगर एक बार क्रिएट हो गया तो फिर से वही टेबल हम बार फिर से नहीं बना सकते। सेम टेबल सेम डेटाबेस के अंदर नहीं बन सकता, वो एरर दे देगा। तो हम अपडेट यूज कर रहे हैं। अपडेट में क्या होगा, अगर टेबल नहीं होगा तो बन जाएगा और होगा तो नहीं बनेगा। ओके, नाउ इट्स वर्किंग। सो hibernate डॉट एच बी एम, hibernate mapping to database. Okay, and we'll write update here, that is fine. Okay, now uh, we are only a one step back into storing the database data, only one step. What is that one step? uh, First let's run this. If we will run this, now we have defined it the table here. Now it should store. Now we have defined, okay, create a table if it's not exist, and we have mentioned the class here as well. We have annotated the class as well. So if you will see student info, we have annotated class, we have added entity, we have added id, all is there. But there is only one issue with the existing, only one issue which is we have to understand. जब भी हम डेटाबेस के अंदर डेटा स्टोर करना चाहते हैं, गाइस लिसन अप, इट इज द डेटाबेस फंडामेंटल्स. Okay, SQL fundamentals. Whenever we store any data into database, it is a transaction. Okay, suppose you go into the bank and you store some cash. It is a transaction. So when you store data inside a database, it is a transaction, right? समझ में आया? So when we wanted to store any data, whenever we store any data inside a database, it is a transaction. Okay, so now we are storing it, but where is the transaction? There is no transaction here. Okay, so after session, after session is open, we will create a transaction. Okay, now it is very easy. Just go here, write transaction, and you will get the transaction org.hibernate. Can you see this? Hmm? You will get transaction, and just right here transaction tf is equal to, now to get the transaction we will get this transaction from the session itself. So transaction tf is equal to sf dot begin transaction. Okay, sf, okay, not sf, yeah, uh, transaction tf is equal to session dot begin transaction. You will get session dot begin transaction. Here is the what we needed. Okay. Okay, so whenever we store anything inside database, we need a transaction. It is a transaction which you wanted to do. So storing a data inside database is a transaction. So we have created transaction tf is equal to session dot begin transaction. So we have got the transaction. समझ आया यहाँ तक?
Yes.
And after transaction, what we are doing, we are storing it, right? We are storing it into the database. Okay, so now whenever we store anything into the database, into the table, it is a transaction. That's why we need a transaction. Then after transaction, we are writing, okay, session dot save persist, means persist का मतलब save होता है. Okay, अब मैं चाहता हूँ कि जो भी, अगर मैं बैंक के अंदर पैसे डिपॉजिट कर रहा हूँ तो वो मेरे फोन पे के ऊपर दिखना चाहिए ना कि मैंने अगर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में 10,000 रुपीज आ देर, और अगर मैं 20,000 डालता हूँ तो फोन पे चेक करने के बाद में मुझे दिखना चाहिए ना चेंजेस कि नहीं, मैंने मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में सक्सेसफुली उतने पैसे हैं. समझ आया? अगर मैं ट्रांजैक्शन किया बैंक के अंदर बट मुझे उतना ही पैसा दिखा रहा है मेरे इसमें जितना पहले दिखा रहा था, तो मेरे माइंड में कंफ्यूजन आ जाएगा कि पैसा डिपॉजिट हुआ भी है या नहीं हुआ है कि नहीं. देखिए.
Yes.
ओके, तो इसीलिए हम चाहते हैं कि जो भी चीजें हम डेटाबेस के अंदर स्टोर करते हैं वो हमारे डेटाबेस के अंदर रिफ्लेक्ट होना चाहिए, दिखना चाहिए, रिफ्लेक्ट होना चाहिए. तो इसीलिए हम ट्रांजैक्शन को बिगिन करते हैं, उसके बाद में सेव करते हैं, और सेव करके करने के बाद में ट्रांजैक्शन डॉट कमिट करते हैं. कमिट कमिट का मतलब होता है वट एवर आई एम सेविंग हियर, जस्ट मेक श्योर यू विल रिफ्लेक्ट इट इनटू द डेटाबेस. अगर हम कमिट नहीं करेंगे ना तो हमने डेटा स्टोर भी कर दिया बट वो दिखेगा ही नहीं उधर, क्योंकि वो रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं हो रहा उधर. सो वी वांट कि चेंजेस रिफ्लेक्ट हो हमारे डेटाबेस के अंदर. दैट व्हाट वी वांटेड. ओके, एंड आफ्टर कमिट we can print as well. So we'll write system.out.print and s1. Just print the current object we have. Okay, just print it. And every hard work uh, plays a role, right? Now let's run it. So we have created a transaction because storing data inside database is a transaction. एंड कमिटिंग इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज अगर कमिट नहीं करेंगे तो उधर रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं होगा. हमने यहाँ पे सेव किया बट कम, हमने यहाँ पे सेशन डॉट प्रोसेस किया बट उधर दिखेगा ही नहीं आपको कोई ऑब्जेक्ट, कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा डेटा, क्योंकि कमिट नहीं किया. कमिट करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ इफ यू विल गो इनटू द आउटपुट, नाउ we can see we will get the object which is student info. This is the object information. Of course we don't wanted to get into this thing now. We can print it, but let's go into the database. Let's go into PostgreSQL, and we have given the database which is MyDB. Okay, now let's refresh the MyDB. Let's go here, click here and refresh. Okay, just refresh it. After refreshing, open this, and we got a table which is student info. Can you see, guys? Inside a table we have got a student info, and if you will just look at into the student info, view all rows. Yeah, and what it's saying. Okay, just this and just execute. Query is successfully row effect. Why we are not getting any data here? What is okay? So just go here. We have a column, we have a data. You can see we have column, we have got student info, we have three column, roll number, branch, and we have everything. Why it is not reflecting? Maybe let's refresh one more time. Refresh, and let's go into the student info.
But I'm
And
getting the error.
getting an error. क्या आ रहा है error?
लाइक वहां पे आपने कहा था ना कि 0 आना चाहिए बट मेरे इसमें 1 आ रहा है.
ओके, मुझे सेंड करो क्या एरर है. जस्ट फॉरवर्ड विद द फोटो ऑफ दैट ट्रांजैक्शन. मुझे फोटो भेजो लकी, आपको जो एरर आ रहा है. सेशन डॉट बिगिन ट्रांजैक्शन, सेव एंड कमिट. ओके, ट्रांजैक्शन डॉट कमिट. ओके, मुझे भेजो तो क्या आ रहा है. ओपन सेशन एंड ओपन सेशन के बाद में वी हैव डेट ट्रांजैक्शन. ट्रांजैक्शन इज इक्वल टू बिगिन ट्रांजैक्शन, save and transaction dot commit. Okay, so we have did commit s1. Okay, क्या हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट नल है? नहीं, नल तो नहीं है. So we have set it. Let me check. What it's saying, could not locate CFG accessible resources. Hibernate dot could not locate. Okay, so configuration. Mhm. Internal load configuration could not locate the cfg.xml. हाइबरनेट डॉट, आपने फाइल नहीं बनाया, फाइल तो बनाया अपना. इसके अंदर जाना. एक मिनट, लेट मी चेक. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन डन. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन एंड्रॉइड प्लस. ओके, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन डॉट कॉन्फ़िगर, एंड देन हाइबरनेट कुड नॉट लोकेट. इसके अंदर जाओ. एक्सएमएल के अंदर दिख रहा है मुझे. बिल्ड सेशन फैक्ट्री. ओके, इट्स कुड नॉट लोकेट. व्हाई? रिसोर्सेज के अंदर ही बनाया ना. एक मिनट, यस, रिसोर्सेज के अंदर ही बनाया. It should get could not able to load the cfg xml के अंदर जाओ तो ताकि, और फोटो भेजो. Everything is fine. सारी चीजें सही है। Configuration dot configure everything is spot on. Okay, Lucky, just give me a while. I will tell you what kind of files may be missing out. आपने सारे एड्रेसेस वगैरह बट आपको आपको वो बोल रहा है कि CFG जो फाइल आपने दिया है could not locate, वो उसको मिल ही नहीं रहा। Why it's saying that kind of thing? Hibernate dot एक मिनट। अच्छा, Lucky, you have did very small mistake. Can you identify it? Hmm? Lucky.
No, sir.
So the file name should be Hibernate. You have written Hibernate. It should be NATE.
Yes.
है ना? ठीक है? So now you don't need to delete those files. क्या करना है आपको? उस फाइल के ऊपर जाओ, जाओ उस फाइल के ऊपर, go on that file, गए हो? राइट क्लिक करो,
Rename?
हाँ रिफैक्टर जा, रिफैक्टर और रीनेम, गए हो?
Yes.
ओके, रिफैक्टर कर, यहाँ पे कर लेना और रिफैक्टर कर लेना। Now it should work. Now the issue is that we have written this kind of thing, but फिर भी मेरे मशीन मेरे डेटाबेस के अंदर मुझे चीज़ें दिख नहीं रही, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द डेटा। Why? Okay, don't worry, we will take time to understand this thing, but for now let me write select star from student info. It's we should get the data, we have stored it. Now let's run this. It's saying query successful. Mm-hmm.
It is still at 1, and now there are many errors.
Okay, now that that's the point where we need to stop. Okay, Lucky, just forward me all the errors you have. Okay, just photos of that errors. We will I will evaluate